Stream's up. Hang on 1 second. We're alive.
All right, folks, thanks for joining us this evening at Watkins Glen International Raceway in New York, upstate New York, by the Finger Lakes. We're here with the Multi-League Truck Series. We're going to be racing for 30 laps tonight. We are, looks like 3 minutes rather, into qualifying. 6 minutes to go. Currently on top of the board, we've got David Fish, big surprise there, excellent road racer in the Multi-League Series. Justin Michael not far behind him. Daniel Ferguson. Should be a competitive field tonight. 24 cars going for 30 laps here at the Glen. I believe it's 11 turns here. Should be an awesome race. Looking forward to this one. What do you think, Ken?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good race tonight, especially if Fish showed up there. That kind of took me by surprise. Um, but yeah, it's I think it'll be a really good thing. You got Scott Patton, Kim Quick here in the booth. We're missing one of our guys tonight, Ken Huber. I'm not sure where he's off screwing around, but he'll be back with us.
Yeah, we'll make do without him. See if we can't put this thing together for 30 laps here. Looking forward to it. It's always a show when Fish shows up, man. If I see him in the field on a road course, it's kind of like the Kyle Busch, I think. The Kyle Busch of the Busch series, right? Where there's a lot of criticism about him racing the road races or racing the Busch series for that matter. But I think everybody in the field, including myself, look forward to it in the stance that I always look forward to something that I can learn or figure out how he's getting so fast, and I think it just improves my own game. And I think a lot of these drivers think the same thing. Justin Michael there in second place in the front row. He's a good friend of mine, Bandit Motorsports teammate. Look for him to be pretty solid tonight as well.
I look for Christopher Davis to be right in there with him myself. He's really picked his game up here. And yeah, all it takes is one mistake from Fish, and Chris could be right there.
That it does. I've seen Fish is definitely fast, but sometimes a mistake or two can take him out of the race. So certainly anybody's race at this point. So, do we have weather, Kim? Do we know what the weather is, track temp and whatnot?
As soon as we get through qualifying, that stuff will probably pop right up on the screen for us. Right now, I don't have it off on any of my sheets, but I'm sure we'll have it here shortly.
Okay, sounds good. So one unique thing about Watkins Glen and iRacing is there's going to be no cautions tonight. So as soon as that green flag falls, the pressure's on. So you're going to watch Fish pull away in turn one and hope you can catch him because there's not going to be any chance to get tires well, there will be a chance to get tires. I'm sure it's going to be at least one pit stop. I'm not sure exactly what the fuel window is tonight. I assume we can go 15 laps, but I'm not quite sure on that one. We'll see if it's one or two stop race. But other than that, once the green flag falls, no cautions to catch up. So what you see is what you get. You got to stay on it, keep the mistakes to a minimum, and keep the lap times as low as we can.
Looks like we got about a minute or two left of qualifying, and then we'll get to it here. Funny thing is, I know that the viewers can't see it, but here in the control booth, we've got a little chart and it tells us what's going on. I'm seeing a lot of guys in practice, or not in practice, but in qualifying. There's a lot of off-tracking going on, so I'm curious to see how it's going to come out with qualifying on who gets the top.
Yeah, certainly. One mistake, you got to lay down that fast time, but it's a kind of a gamble. You have 2 laps here, I think, in qualifying tonight. What I would do from a strategy standpoint is sometimes I'd lay down a somewhat conservative lap to make sure I get on the leaderboard, and then that second lap, if we get the good lap down, go for it on that second lap and see if we can't put down a pole-sitting lap time at that point. But yeah, you're right. It's super easy with laps as long as this, minute 14, 15, 16 seconds. Super easy to get a tire off in the grass, tire off in the bus stop, and that will discount your lap for that in terms of iRacing. So.
We may have a little more than a couple minutes. I didn't realize this is a road course. I'm not sure how it was set for tonight, whether it was 5 minutes of qualifying or possibly it's 10 minutes because of being the road course.
I'm showing 10, yep. 2.5 minutes. We got 7.5 down, 2.5 to go.
All right. Well, while we're just sitting here for a minute, waiting for this to go on, I guess I'll, because you're the head of patent paints, and I'm the customer, so I'm curious. Where is my modified paint?
Oh yeah, that one's in the shop this week. I'll tell you what, work's been busy, man. I'm working 6-day weeks, but this is the first weekend I've had off in over a month. So my weekends are Monday and Tuesday off, and then I work Wednesday through Sunday. So I have 2 days off in a row. I got two paints out the door today, and we've got that modified paint coming up for you, Ken. We've got one working on for Ken Richardson. Just messaged me a little bit ago. Work on his cup paint for this Thursday. Hopefully, we should have that one on the track. And Jeffrey Merck messaged me a while back, and we've got one of his paints. I'm sure we'll showcase it tonight during the race. But Philadelphia Phillies paint baseball came out super sharp. White Phillies truck with pinstripes. Looking forward to seeing that one on the track today.
I can't wait to see that. Yeah. Anyway, the reason I'm giving you a hard time is because Friday night is the last of the mod races, the championship race, and I'm in it. It'd be really nice to put one of those patent paints into the championship circle there. So trying to put a fire under
There
you.
we go. All right, we'll have it. The championship circle. Motivation.
Looks like we've got 24 trucks tonight. Does that look right to you?
Yep, that's what I count on my leaderboard. Yep.
That's a good turnout then for a road course. That's really good.
So, Kim, do you have the truck logo on the screen right now? Is that right for the broadcast?
That is
And then we're
correct.
going- Okay, and then we'll go live or go with the screenshots when the gridding starts.
I can make it go live now if you want. I usually just run this because it's just showing. It's just the camera's out on the track. Everybody went off to find a rest stop or get a soda or whatever the cameraman. So it's just panning around by itself with really not a lot to show right now. So
Gotcha. Well, here we go. Speaking of gridding, we're gridding it up right now. Congratulations, David Fish on the pole with a time of 1:14, 2:53, 4/10 faster than Justin Michael in the front row. Rest of the top 10 here this evening, we're going Christopher Davis, P3, Andrew Schulte outside row 2, Jeffrey Merck with a solid qualifying inside the top 5, Daniel Ferguson, Vergen Margheim, Jack Watts, Charlie Widner, good run for him there, starting P9, and Mike Erder finishing out our top 10 outside.
there's our weather screen. Looks like it's 70 degrees there in Watkins Glen.
Guys, right now we're having their pre-race briefing, drivers meeting, where they go over not only the rules for tonight, but also the schedule for the upcoming week. It's kind of cool to see in the beginning of these. We're racing 8 races a week, twice on Sundays, every night of the week, including Sunday mornings. We've got something going on in the multi-league series here. There he is. Welcome to the booth, Ken Huber. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, guys? What are we looking at tonight?
Oh, looks the trucks are at the Glen tonight.
We're at the Glen. We're just gridding up right now. We've got about another 30 seconds to go. Actually, 10 seconds to go. And gridding here, we've got a full lap of pacing. David Fish, big surprise there on the pole here for the road course. Justin Michael from Bandit Motorsports on the outside of row 1 here. And yeah, should be an interesting one.
Whoa, Fish is in this race. It's going to be intense with Fish out there.
That's what I told him. I kind of related Fish to the Kyle Busch of the Busch series. Every time I line up with Fish on a road course, man, it's certainly be a tough one, but I always look to see if I can't learn something, if it's just one corner or one gear change or whatever, strategy-wise, figure out how he is so fast on these road courses.
Scott, why don't you give a shout out to one of our sponsors here, Stone Rivers?
Stone River Outfitters. I was just talking to Matt Leventure, owner of Stone River Outfitters. It's a fly tying shop up in Amherst, New Hampshire here. Matt's the owner of that shop. All your fly tying needs, check him out. StoneRiverOutfitters.com, as well as Facebook at Stone River Outfitters. He's our primary sponsor. I put them on my Cup car when I run on Thursday nights as well, and he's our title sponsor for our Thursday night Cup series. So check them out, StoneRiverOutfitters.com. Appreciate their all their assistance and.
We got a few more seconds. Let's go ahead and clear the commercials out of the way right now. Let's go with Turbulence.
Turbulence monster truck. My buddy John Fitzgerald owns that truck. If you've never seen a real live monster truck, man, that's something special. So, buddy of mine owns Turbulence. He does monster truck shows throughout the U.S., mostly in the Northeast area, but as far as down as the Carolinas, as west as New York, Pennsylvania area, and yeah, they certainly pitched in. They're also going to be our title sponsor for the MROC series coming in November at the end of the Cup series. Excited about that one. Here just came out of what I believe is turn 9 down the mini chute here. We got 2 more corners, a left 90 and then a right 90, and then we're coming to green here. We got Dave Fish and Justin Michael on the inside. Front row. Here comes the pace car, turns in that Porsche pace car, and wait for it. Fish is off, green flag. It's a great jump here coming into turn 1. Nice clean start so far. Everybody's gonna give way and give a little bit of give plenty of room here. Let everything space out. We've got 30 laps of green flag racing in front of us, so not too much aggression early on, which is nice. Single file, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top 6 cars, single file. Like Dingo Ferguson back there in P7, single file through the S's. What do you think from a strategy standpoint, Ken? If you're in this race, if you put yourself in this race, chasing Dave Fish, what's your goal for the race?
Well, for me, I guess it would be, there's no cautions, obviously, so it's just putting the whole race together and not make any mistakes. It looks like it's going to be a one-stop race, so just run my line and focus on what I got to do, and just try not to make mistakes. Kind of how I would approach it.
Yeah, speaking of making mistakes, I'm looking at Justin Michael in P3, 3rd place back there. A little bit of a rough start as you watch that first and second place fade away here a little bit slow through the bus stop there. Little gap, kind of getting the jiggers out here in the first lap, settle into a rhythm, and I'm sure that things will smooth out here pretty shortly. A little loose off there in turn 1. You can see the back end of that 511 machine wiggle off from the rumble strips in turn 1, up through the S's now.
So I'm watching Schulte here, and Schulte here in second place is doing really good, hanging there with Fish.
Yeah, heck of a job by Andrew Schulte.
Yeah, Fish got a little wide there, almost hit the fence there. Schulte's putting the pressure on, and that's what Schulte needs to do with a guy like Fish, is just constantly put on pressure, and hopefully he makes a mistake.
Yeah, when I think of David Fish, as fast as he is, if I was behind him, I would be doing exactly what Schulte is doing, putting the pressure on early. Look at Schulte giving it everything he's got. Little wiggle off there on turn 9, I believe that is. Back end getting loose, but staying right on Fish's bumper. I think you got to keep that pressure on. Hopefully he can make a mistake here. Maybe an off track or something might send him towards the back here.
Oh, we're losing a truck in the back here.
Yeah, we got.
Trying to figure out who that was, just spun off and in the sand.
It's Jeffrey Merck, I believe. I don't know if we have a. We can go to Jeffrey Merck, Kim. Justin Michael, I know, was involved.
Yeah, we picked up Justin. Let me see if I can find Merck.
So I think another strategy that Fish might be doing here, knowing as fast as he is, he might be trying to conserve tires a little bit. I mean, he's starting to gap Andrew Schulte just a little bit now.
I think it was a no harm, no foul on Merck. Looks like he's rolling along with no damage. I think he just spun.
Yeah, from when I saw, I backed that up real quick. I saw Merck just get a little bit hot into that left-hander there, too, before the end of the course. Just getting to the back end of Justin Michael making that left-hander there. They both kind of went around and paid the price for that one. So Jeffrey Merck back in P17 and Justin Michael up to P15. Be interesting to see. Those guys are 14 and 16 seconds off pace. Be interesting to see if they can't make up some of those spots before the end of the race here. Long way to go.
So we haven't been talking too much about the fourth and fifth place position, but Christopher Davis early on, it was either lap 1 or 2. They got together with, I think it was, let's say the 25 of Daniel Ferguson. I'm not really sure, but he lost a bunch of positions, fell back down to like 6. He's raced his way back up to 4th, and he's working on that 3rd place position of Vernon Margheim, who's also the points leader for this series tonight too. And Vernon Margheim is doing really well.
Bergen is also our points leader for Thursday night, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so.
I believe this is the last race before the cut for the playoffs.
Oh, there we go. Do you know how many races, how many trucks we take to the playoffs, Kim? Is it 8? Top 8, I think?
If you give me just a second, I can tell you.
I expect that if we still have the cameras on, this fight for P3 here, Vernon and Chris and Daniel Ferguson, I think this is going to be where a lot of the action is tonight.
Yeah, and David Fish has already stretched out almost a full second lead on Andrew Schulte now, so this is probably the best race on the track right now.
It's going to be the top 6 trucks.
Top 6 going to the playoffs, all right. Well, you
So
have that
Vernon
in front of you.
Margheim is running in 3rd there. He's doing really well tonight. I'm not used to seeing him run in the top 5 in the road courses. He's must put some time in this week.
Well, it's the Glen too. A lot of guys have a lot of experience with the Glen, so that even though they're not road racing much, they've been here enough that they get used to it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking at the big gap between Vernon and Andrew. Already 8.5 seconds off the lead, so.
Yeah, those two guys have checked out.
All right, here's our top 6 in points right now. It's Vernon Margheim, Jeffrey Merck, Doug Sigmund, Daniel Ferguson, Jack Watts, and Charlie Widener. They're fighting for to get that top 6 spot.
All right, I think you said Merck and P2 or 3. Is that right, Kim? In the point?
I'm showing Merck in P2.
P2. So him having that incident early on with Justin Michael, back in 15 now, I expect him to certainly stay on the track and collect as many points as he can before the end of this thing.
So here's a truck to watch. I'm back here looking at the 94 of Greg Wellen. Greg Wellen tends to run pretty well in road courses, and he's been nipping at the heels of Mike Erter in that 117 truck, looking for a way to get around. Mike Erter is a pretty good road course racer himself, so he's going to be a tough one to get by.
Yeah, Erter's one of those that he may not be quick off the start, but he can put some laps together with 0 mistakes and certainly find himself in the easy top 5 by the end of this thing.
And while I was talking about Greg Wellen there, I see that Christopher Davis back in the 4th position is now all over the back bumper of Vernon Margheim and wants to get that spot back.
Up through the S's here, down the back stretch, 4th gear, downshift, I think the 3rd gear. I don't know if they're using the 2nd gear here, but nice and smooth here through the bus stop. See Chris Davis keep it right on that apron there, chasing down Bergen. Bergen Margheim chooses to take a more of a diamond route through that turn 9 there, drifting outside and then get the good straight run off the corner. But
So just checking back in with the leaders up here. David Fish now is almost 2 seconds ahead of Andrew Schulte. I don't know what happened the last lap, but Andrew Schulte lost 7/100ths of a second off of, or 7/10ths of a second off of, I don't even know. I'm talking about David Fish tonight. So that was a quick loss. I don't know if he slipped up somewhere or what happened.
Yeah, and that's right in David Fish's wheelhouse there, like you were talking about, Ken, with him conserving tires a little bit, and then 2, 3, and we're on lap 7 now, and just continuing to pull away.
But in road course racing, with no cautions, anything could happen. So we'll check back in with that later. Still, this battle with the top 5 or so, the top 3 for that 3rd position: Daniel Ferguson, Christopher Davis, and Vernon Margheim. Still running 1, 2, 3 there as they go through the carousel there. Then back behind them, we got Jack Watts in the 077 truck, and behind him, Charles Widener and Mike Erder and Greg Wellen. That's our top 9.
I'm going to take her back and get a look at Merck. I'm showing him a lap down now. I'm wondering if he did an early pit.
Yeah, that's interesting that you brought that up, Kim. I'm looking at his truck as well, and down a lap, and I'm not sure if he I guess must have. Oh yeah, last lap, lap 5, he did pit. Yep.
Oh, there's another strategy there.
The question is, can you do 25 laps on a tank of fuel?
Right. I think the only question would be if they can't make 15, right? Maybe if the lap is, if the fuel run is 13 or 14 laps, if it's a 2-stop race, then I think it is to Jeff's advantage to make the stop now, take that faster KR, get the damage fixed, knowing that he still has to make 2 more stops anyway. So, very interesting strategy here.
Yeah, I didn't jump out and do any practice laps, so I'm not sure what the fuel range is. I'm guessing these guys can make 15, but I'm not 100% certain on that.
You know, I am finding interesting though, if we can go to Jeffrey Mark in P19 and show his truck here. It's a Phillies paint that I mentioned earlier in the broadcast that I just painted for Mark today, but he's right on the bumper again of Justin Michael, going down the same straightaway that they had their incident earlier. Jeffrey Mark is a lap down now, but still in the P2 in the point standings, like Kim alluded to. Be really interesting to see if he can't get around Justin Michael clean this time, or if Justin Michael, who doesn't run for points on Monday nights, see if Justin Michael might have something else to say about it if he tries to get by.
And yeah, Justin Michael, another interesting thing. I just noticed he started in 2nd place, so he's been struggling a little bit tonight too, along with Merck.
Yeah,
he got
Michael's
caught up
truck's
in that.
pretty much caved in the back. There's damage there.
I think that was courtesy of the Phillies bumper on the Silverado of Jeffrey Mark. But up through the S's here, Jeffrey Mark still closing in. He's got the fresher tires. I'm sure he's got 5 or 6 lap fresher tires at least than these guys. Watch Justin Michael just get in the back of Joe Marks off the pace down the backstretch. Jeffrey Mark gets clean through here, through the bus stop. See if he can't close in. Let's watch those fresh tires take effect. Justin Michael getting a little bit sideways.
It looks like the field's stretched out a little bit now at this point. Everybody's kind of settling in, probably waiting for that first pit stop, trying to eyeball their entrance there. I still see here that 3rd position battle between Christopher Davis and Vernon Margheim is heating up again.
Yeah, I would think from a strategy standpoint, from a fuel standpoint, if these guys know for sure that they cannot make to lap 15, I would think they would come in around lap 10, would you not, Ken, to get the fresh tires and the fuel, come in lap 10 and then 20 and then make it to the end at 30?
Yeah, that would be my strategy. If I couldn't make 15, definitely come in on lap 10. So if we don't see any guys pitting, it might be they can make it to lap 15 or 16. And ideally, I'd want lap 16, obviously, just to have that little bit of cushion there.
I'm looking behind them at P5, Dana Ferguson closing in on that battle of Chris Davis and Vernon Margheim.
I'm guessing guys are going to go to lap 15 or 16 because they usually run 70% fuel in these trucks.
Yeah, I do believe it'll be a one-stop race at this point.
Yeah, I thought so too. The only thing that threw me off was Merck pitting, which I guess maybe if he thought the damage was that substantial, where he's losing that much pace, especially being in the point standings, but
I'm just running through the field here, back looking at the Battle for third is about 5 trucks that all won third place. They're all nose to tail. Looks like they're just content following single file. I think Christopher Davis is putting the most pressure on, although the 077 of Jack Watts just got a little loose and had to give it up to Daniel Ferguson, it looks like, or Charles Widener, I should say. And Christopher Davis got a hell of a run coming up on Vernon Margheim. Trying to get him on the bus stop, decided to back off and not make it a too wide issue through the bus stop there. So this battle for third now is collected a couple more cars. It looks like there's about 7 cars. Mike Erder leading the tail end of this 7-car train for third place.
Yeah, we might be getting some tire wear here, and the guys are not running quite as hard or catching up to the back of that pack.
Exactly. That's where I think it's going to play right into Mike Gerder's wheelhouse here. I think he's one of those guys that conserves the tires, comes on late in the race. I expect him to come on strong here in the second half, especially knowing there's 6 cars in front of him here.
Checking in with our leaders really quick. It looks like David Fish, he's pulled out to about a 5.2 second lead over Andrew Schulte.
Yeah, I'm looking at the lap times, and David Fish just put down a 1:14.8, which I believe was right up there with qualifying. I don't think they've lost more than a couple tenths from the qualifying laps. There's nobody else in the entire field putting down 14s right now.
Yeah, it's impressive. He's always impressive on the road course, and that, like we talked about early at the start of the tire run, he might have been conserving those tires, get some heat in them without roughing them up too much before really putting the lead down on it.
Yeah, I'm showing 116s and 117s for the rest of the field. So that's a 2-second advantage on that one lap.
Right. Oh, I think I was looking at the wrong column there, Kim. I was looking at his best lap at 14.8. So David Fitch just put down a 16 flat last lap, and next competitive is a 16.6. So Schulte's about 5 tenths off pace here, and then everybody else drops off to 17s and 18s after that.
All right, Scott, let's talk about some strategy. I see the 077 headed to pit lane. That's laps
really
early.
interesting. Yes, that's really interesting.
Jack Watts is running down pit lane right now, so I wonder if he can go 17, 18 laps, and he just wants to get some fresh tires on it, make up some time right now.
Or, I'm looking at a bunch of other guys. Kent Conley on pit lane. I think it's George Jones on pit lane. I'm looking at a bunch of trucks here. I'm not sure that they can make it 15. If they can make it 15, man, it might be a fuel race to the end here. Maybe that's what Merck was thinking of early when he pitted. Maybe he knew with confidence that we couldn't make it to halfway. Therefore, it doesn't really do much damage for him to come into pit road, get his fast repair, and get back on track, knowing he still has to make 2 more stops. So,
I don't believe Connolly and Jones are running. I think that it's a start and park.
Gotcha.
So our leader, David Fish, he is passing pit lane. He's not pitting yet, so his fuel mileage must be okay.
Yeah.
So this battle for third is still really intense. There's quite a few cars back there. I imagine quite a few of them are going to be hitting pit lane probably next lap, in the next 2 laps or so. Vernon Markheim is leading this group in third place right now. Christopher Davis is still on his tail. I just seen another truck enter pit.
I just watched this. Greg Wellen. Yep, Greg Wellen just jumped pit road.
So I think the strategy here by entering pit road before lap 15, Scott, and correct me if I'm wrong, is to get those fresh tires, make up. You can gain probably 2 seconds a lap on the guys with old tires, and so you can get ahead of these guys you've been fighting with for the last 10 laps.
Yeah, I agree. That worked out pretty well for me on last Thursday night, if I remember right. We had a great battle there, Ken, Thursday. That was a blast. But yeah, I used that exact same strategy with ducking the pit road 1 lap early before Ken, who was leading the race at the time, and had the faster truck or had the faster car at the time. But me being able to duck the pit road, get those fresher tires, come out and put at least 1 or 2 laps down with 2 seconds faster a lap, able me to bridge that gap and hold them on for the rest of the race. So maybe it's more of a mental challenge too, right? Mental game of come to pit road, start putting fast laps down, and then let the other guys chase you. Right?
Yep. So Chris Davis and looks like Charles Widener all hitting pit lane, along with Daniel Ferguson. It looks like.
Justin Michaels in. Schulte's in. Which is interesting. Dave Fish stays up for another lap. Wow.
Well, that's kind of what you'd want to do if you're the leader. You know that if you've got, let's say, a 10-second lead, and you're gaining 2 seconds a lap on everybody, you can basically stay out there for, I would consider, 5 laps, if you had the fuel, of course. You can stay out there for 5 laps and then do your pit stop, come out right ahead of the second place guy and just take off.
That's true.
I believe now that with Chris Davis and those guys, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth guys going in, they're gonna pull an advantage on Vernon Margheim when he finally decides to go. I think he's gonna lose that spot.
So Fish just entered
Fish
pit
in
lane,
the road,
so
yep.
he's getting his service done on his truck.
I'm watching Vernon Margheim right now through turn 8. Left 9-degree turn. Now through the right-hand turn, turn 9 left-hand turn, and he does throttle down and come to pit road.
So now Vernon strategy is something that I like to use. You're getting the most, all 30 laps, you're going to get the best lap times based on fresh tires by pitting exactly at the halfway point. But the question is how many people are going to get by him on fresh tires that he's going to have to get around? And so he might have fresher tires. He's going to have his work cut out for him at the same time.
Here comes Christopher Davis now out of the last corner. We'll see what's going to happen with Vern.
I was going to say, if
he's
we
going to make it out.
Guys. Yeah, we're looking at Chris Davis crossing the stripe right now. Blows by Vernon Margheim, who's... where's Vernon? Just coming out pit road now?
Yeah, he's just exiting pit road right now.
Oh, he came out just in front of him again. Wow, great job. Great job by the pit crew.
Great stop by Vernon. And that's the best of both worlds, right, Ken? He stretched the tire strategy for the first half. Pits, 2 laps after.
But he's on cold tires, and Chris is pushing the issue now.
So, double file here, racing into the bus stop. Chris Davis gives it up to Vernon.
Yeah, Vernon's going to have him on those fresh tires. Now, one thing I'll notice, Greg Wellen just ahead of them. He pitted a couple laps before all these guys, and you can see the time that he has made up on those guys with the fresh tires. Now, chances are, I'm going to guess that Vernon Margheim is going to be able to run him down. But the question is, can he, after he runs him down, is he going to be able to pass?
Exactly. We've got 15 laps to go. I'm putting a stopwatch on him. We're showing 3.1 seconds. Vernon is behind Greg. That's a really interesting battle that you brought up, Ken. I like that one there. Fish here is, open it up to a 9-second gap here. So Fish is out to Fish land up here. And Schulte still in second place, 9 seconds back. And then Greg Wellen, we got 2 seconds behind him.
Would you say everyone is fishing for second?
Right?
Where is Sean Turner in that fishing lure?
Oh, yeah. Where is Sean Turner tonight?
It's a road race. He's probably nowhere near here.
Speaking of people not here, Merck just disconnected, so I find that kind of interesting. P19 looks like might be where he'll finish tonight. But 6 laps down, he disconnected. Called it a night. He's going to hit the bar early.
Let me see if I can get a look at the point thing and see how bad that'll hurt him.
Greg Wellen's still holding on to that 3-second lead over Vernon Margheim. Hasn't started giving up those tires yet, it looks like.
Yeah, I'd still think Merck's going to squeak it out. He's got almost a 50-point advantage back to 6th place, so he should be fine.
Okay, so he should be all right to at least advance. Chris Davis, we can go up to Chris Davis here, P5. Right behind Vernon Margheim. That battle's been, I feel like he's been within 2 truck lengths of Vernon the entire race here. So I think at some point his patience is going to run out. He's going to start pushing the issue here.
I think he should have pushed the issue into the bus stop that time.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're coming up on a lap car. If bus stop, oh, he pulls over and lets it by, so that's going to make it a clean pass there. It's got Mike Herder back there behind Chris Davis, too. He's starting to come into this picture, and we talked about him earlier in this race, so never count out the Erk man.
Exactly. The Dart. Mike Herder, nice job there in P6 right now. And moving up a couple spots, nice and consistent, no mistakes. Nice and low through turn 9 on the carousel. Great job.
Yeah, Mike's steady on the pressure there. They were Mike and Chris were running in the F3 race Sunday night. 1 lap to go, and Mike pressured him enough that Chris made a huge mistake, and he got by him.
Looking back a couple spots here, P9 right now, Kim. Justin Michael, I'm looking at on the heels of Charlie Widner and Jack Watts. I think that battle is a little bit deceiving, and I say that only because I know Justin Michael to be an extremely fast racer, especially on road races, and he's got that truck fixed right now. Remember, he got tangled up with Mark early in that lap 1 or 2 incident, up to P9 right now on the heels of these guys. I think he's going to be looking up to make a couple of spots here in the next lap or so.
While you were talking about that, I watched Christopher Davis almost get into the back of Vernon Margheim. I think that patience that you were talking about with Christopher Davis is starting to show that he's running out of it. But Vernon does have those fresher tires, but Chris has done a good job staying right with him. And they really haven't been able to run down Greg Welling, who was in pit lane a few laps before either one of these guys. So good job for Greg Welling up there holding on to third.
Yeah, when they came out of pit road, they were Vernon now showing 3.1 seconds back. Now it's 3.6. So not only not closing, but that gap is increasing as well.
Yeah, another shout out to Greg Welling. He started in 14th tonight too. So not only did he have some good sound pit strategy so far, he's actually been able to drive his way up to the front. So
he's the biggest mover of the race on my board here, up 11 spots from 14 to 3rd right now. Great job, Greg, with that pit strategy. Awesome job.
Back here watching Chris Davis all over the back bumper of Vernon Margheim right now.
Don't count out Erda here. I think Erda's going to back off just enough. See if Chris Davis takes a look.
Nope.
Erda's going to take a look. Nope. Oh, Erda's on the inside, going to the bus stop. Double wide with Chris Davis.
Erder says, well, if you guys are going to play, I'm going to play.
Oh, that was great driving by both of them. There was a bunch of give and take there.
I was listening to the radio just now, in-car radio. Mark Erder literally said, I wasn't trying to do that. I think it's one of those things I think you can relate to, Kim and Ken. When you go into that bus stop, it's kind of one of those things where you just commit to your braking point. And once you hit the brakes and decide where you're going to brake, there's only so many moves you can make. So I think Herder probably had a little bit later braking point than the other guys. Had to move to the inside just to keep preventing from getting into him. And great job with them sorting it out through the bus stop there.
Yeah, it cost him though on time from Vernon though. Now they got to run him back down again.
Chris is going to have to chase him, but I think it looks like he's actually catching him again. So those fresh tires that Vernon has doesn't seem to be doing him as much good as I thought they would.
Yeah, I think the 38 and 117 are probably both faster than Vernon, but with that 1 lap fresher's tires, he's got just enough to hold him back, but they don't have enough to get by. If they got by, I think they'd run away a little bit.
And they're coming back up fast. Him and Herder both coming back up to the back of Vernon Margheim, and they got a lap car in front of them. That could factor into this as they get ready to go into carousel here. And Chris gets wide entrance to the carousel, but he's going to sweep it back down, keep it low. He's right there. He's right on the back of Vernon Margheim again.
This is a hard move. Would you agree down the straightaway here? If you get a run on somebody, your instinct says you want to be on the inside, right, to make that move through this corner here, that left-hander. But then you're on the disadvantage going to this last corner, so it's kind of a tough place to pass through the backstretch.
Yeah, but usually that's the place to make the pass, because if you get in there deep enough, you're going to be by them before the next corner anyway.
Speaking of pass, Chris Davis has got to run. He's on the inside.
He's going to make a move.
Going into turn 1 here. See if he can outbrake him going in. Oh, he takes it easy. Let Vernon keep the spot.
He's cutting him a lot of breaks here.
So what you guys were talking about, 9, 10, and 11. For me, those aren't really good passing opportunities, but what they are good opportunities is forcing a mistake by the driver in front of you. So if you can force a mistake, you can get by there, but it's not typically a place that you pass at.
Right. I like to.
38's got the inside. This now he backed off again.
Yeah, sometimes like you said, through turns like that, I like to just show my nose to drivers to try to entice a mistake. Even if I have zero intention of passing or making a move at all, it's only strictly to try to get that guy to look in his mirror, doubt what you're gonna do. Maybe he's gonna dive it in there, and see if you can get them off their line, off the braking point, and then take advantage on the front stretch here.
Exactly. I've been watching Chris try that very thing. He's trying everything. Oh, almost gets in the back of Vernon right there in turn 11. Yep, these we got Vernon Margheim, Christopher Davis, Mike Erder, and Charlie Widener now on the inside of Mike Erder, trying to make that pass going into one. Oh, and they just barely touched Mike Erder.
Yeah, he put it in there, committed to the corner. That's what Chris needs to do, actually.
So Chris Davis and Vernon Margheim are now just 1-2. I'm looking further back in the field, and the 077 just got passed by, I want to say it was Justin Michael. No.
Hey Kim, can we do something here? Can we do a little experiment with some cameras? I want to show something that I just picked up on.
Sure.
I'll give you the heads up on David Fish, right? We can show him through the S's here, but I'm on board with, maybe we can take a lap with Dave Fish. I'll show a little comparison here. I'm showing Dave Fish's cockpit through the S's here, down the back stretch. What I'm going to notice is his gear selection. That's something that I've picked up from Dave Fish's technique in the past year or two. Downshift in the third, we're on the bus stop in third gear here. And I only bring this up because when I'm racing, I think of, he's right now 9/10 faster than Andrew Schulte in second, and over a second faster than the entire field. And I try to think to myself, what is he doing that's different? Right there, third gear through the carousel, back stretch up to fourth gear, and then here's where the big difference is, I think. Downshift to third, and listen how low the RPMs are here. Just chugging, right? Let off, chugging through the right-hander, right? See, we're chugging out third gear. Now go to Andrew Schulte. Can you go to Andrew Schulte real quick? Listen how much different this engine sounds. Second gear, third gear, right? Second gear again, to the right-hander. Second gear, winding it up. And I just think that's burning the tires a little bit too much. And over the long run, that's probably what may be contributing to that lap difference there. But just a little interesting experiment there. Hopefully got that info. I think that's good stuff there.
And of course, that's a great way to get faster. If you're getting beat all the time, you do need to get in the cockpit of these fast guys and figure out what they're doing. Sometimes you can learn a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. I try to look at it as they're coming to the race with, this is a fixed setup league, so they're coming to the race with the exact same setups as everybody else, more or less the same steering wheel and pedals. They all do the same thing. It's pretty much all driver input. And when I see somebody using techniques like that, I try my best to kind of implement them and learn from it and see if I can improve next time I come to the track.
We got Justin Michaels back now. It's Allie's actually making the pass on Mike Erder.
Yeah, we got 5 to go now. It's time, if these guys are going to start making passes, it's time to do it. This whole group, they've been racing together pretty much this whole race. Justin has caught this pack and is starting to make moves on everybody. This has kind of been the battle for third, although Greg Lund's kind of checked out of that battle, and now it's just the battle for fourth.
Yeah, good on Greg. Remember that gap that we talked about, 3.1 seconds after the pit stops, back to Vernon Margheim, is now 8.3. Excellent job by Greg. And he's closed. Greg Wellen has also closed the gap on Andrew Schulte. He's only 4 seconds back behind Andrew. I think he can probably see him in his front windshield there as he clicks these laps off. 5 to go.
So back with Chris Davis and Vernon Margheim, right on the back bumper. Oh, just touches Vernon Margheim in turn 1 there. As they get ready to enter the S's, we'll see if Chris Davis can get a run out of the S's here going into the bus stop.
I was gonna say, Ken, if you had a priority, where would you say the best spot is? If you're somebody like Chris Davis, right, you want to size him up, try to make a move. Where's your ideal spot here? As Chris Davis goes to the outside of the bus stop, Vernon, see if.
I think all things being equal for me, it's exactly right after the S is about the best place I can get him. It's so slippery on turn 11, getting on that straight stretch, unless somebody has to make a mistake, in my opinion, to make that pass.
Chris Davis goes wide now, and Charlie Widner to the inside of. Or I'm sorry, yeah, this is Charlie Widner. Yep, on the inside of Chris Davis through the carousel.
Yeah, Charlie Widener's truck almost looks like Daniel Ferguson's truck. Has been confusing me all night, actually.
And Justin Michaels just got another one, guys. He's up to the bumper now, Chris.
Right on the bumper, Chris Davis. Through the right-hander. I expect Justin to at least look out here, show a bumper, and Charlie Widner has the same.
Let's see if Charlie makes the same move he did earlier. Just drive it in, or
Justin shuts the door on him. Great race.
This is a point in the race where you really have to use your head, right? If you start overdriving, you can have a big mistake. You really got to focus on what got you to where you're at, and just try to minimize any mistake, and hopefully the driver put the pressure on the guy in front of you and force him to make a mistake.
Yeah, but you know as well as I do, Ken, when you're looking at these
gotta make a move here.
Yeah, Justin Michael on the inside. Chris Davis gives it to him.
I'm wondering how much of Chris used up his tires trying to get around Vernon.
So now here's the question: can Justin Michael, who's been running pretty quick, seems to be the fastest guy on the track other than Fish right now, can he run down Vernon Margheim? He's got 3 laps to get it done. He is closing really quick on Vernon Margheim.
Yeah, last lap he was about a 1/10 and a half, 2/10 quicker than Vernon.
I'm showing 3/10.
Yeah, 3/10 quicker. Second down. It's right on the threshold there with 3 to go.
Just way hard into that turn 1. Justin Michael gained some more time on Vernon Margheim. Meanwhile, Christopher Davis back behind them is trying to fight off Charlie Widener. And I think you're right. I think Christopher Davis might have used up his stuff, and now he's just trying to hold on to what he's got.
Yeah, how frustrating does that have to be, right? To be sitting in P3, P4 the entire race, having a great battle, and then right towards the end, have those tires fade away, and have these guys, not only one truck, but he's got 4 trucks right lined up, nose to tail, waiting to take advantage. Just trying to minimize the damage at this point, I think, is Chris Davis.
That move back up here to Justin Michael still has gained a little bit more time through the carousel. He's going to be there this next lap. He's going to be, I would say he's going to be on the back door of Vernon Margheim as we're coming up to 2 to go.
Yeah, I just jumped in the cockpit of Justin Michael, Kim, with going through his last couple of corners, and he's using 3rd gear, much like David Fish was when we did that comparison earlier. So I think that's where a lot of that speed is coming from. It sounds counterintuitive, but using those higher gears limits the tire spin off the corner as it gets right on the bumper of Vernon outside of turn 1. Through the S's here, he's probably going to be patient, wait for an opportunity, maybe back it up just a little bit to get a run off this right-hander. Right here, start to look, see if we can get a run. Nope, it's nose to tail. Lap and a half to go, so he's going to show him the nose. Probably has no intention, see he backs off early. No intention of making the pass. Just trying to get Vernon off his line, make him do something a little bit different here.
Stay on this battle. David Fish wins this race. He's already crossed the start-finish line, so David Fish is the winner. Or wait, no, we got one more lap to go. All right, we're on the last lap, I'm sorry.
Yep, we're on the final lap.
Fish just grabbed the white flag, so we got a whole another lap to go here.
But Fish is all by himself, so stay on what we have here. This is a great race.
And all these guys are lined up. The next 5 behind them are lined up nose to tail, waiting to take advantage here. But here comes Justin. third gear
Justin
into the
on
back
the
of
outside.
Vernon. Let him show him we're there. White flag in the air. Justin on the outside. Tough place. I think he's going to look for the crossover, but couldn't quite get it done there.
Oh, and he got spun by Christopher Davis.
He's looking for that crossover, and Chris Davis says, hey, if you're going to leave that spot open, I'm going to put my bumper in there. One to go.
Yep, for the audience watching, that was definitely not intentional. That was just a racing move, and he tried something, and it just didn't work, and the other car had so much momentum. There was nothing. I'm sure Chris was on the brakes, but there was nothing he could do.
Exactly. I'm back to Dave Fish. Congrats, Dave Fish, winning this race here across the finish line.
Andrew Schulte now in turn 11. It looks like he's going to hang on to second.
I'm watching the old battle for fourth here. Let's go back to Vernon Margheim and Chris Davis. You got one more shot at it here. See if you can. Two more corners. We got a left 9-degree turn and a right 9-degree turn coming to the checkers. Chris going to show him that he's there. Oh.
No, I don't think he can get him now.
Across the line in P4 comes Vernon, Chris Davis. Nice job, guys.
Guys, let's see if we can get Charlie Wildner, Christopher Davis, and Greg Wellen up in the booth after the race.
All right.
Well, I think you called it there, Scott, with David Fish.
Yeah, if I were a betting man, which I am.
I think Andrew at the start of this race had the right approach. Trying to put all kinds of pressure on Fish there. Hopefully he can drive it off the track or something like there, and because that was his best shot, was early in that race.
Yeah, I think so. When I get on the heels of David Fish, it's kind of a catch-22, right? One standpoint, I want to stay behind him, try to learn what he's doing, figure out why and how he's faster. But at the same standpoint, if I see a mistake up there, see a gap I can take advantage of, I want to hurry up and do that quick, because I know my time is probably minimal with me being within a truck length of David Fish on these road courses.
Yep.
Who do you want to talk to, Kim? Andrew?
Let me
Ferguson?
see. Now we need Greg Wellen, Charlie Widner, and Christopher Davis. And you could bring Fergie if you want. That's who I'm showing. We were in the radio room down there, so that's who we can get. None of our
Charlie,
our top three were there.
I've got Andrew Schulte down here.
And then grab Andrew. Yeah, that'd work. Andrew Schulter, Greg Wellen, and probably Chris Davison. All right, for the people at home, just give us a second. We're rounding up some drivers here.
Got them all lined up here. Who do you want to start with first, Kim?
Ken's usually good at these. Let's let Ken do the interviews.
All right.
Oh, I'm good at it. Well, let's bring Andrew Schulte up. He's our second place.
User was moved to
Andrew Schulte is our second place finisher here, just behind David Fish. Andrew, so what did you think of that race? What was your strategy going into this?
I don't know what you mean just behind. It was damn near a half a lap behind him. He put on a clinic tonight.
Yeah, Fish is a strong driver. Hey, we were commenting though early, the first five laps of the race or so, you were all over the back bumper of Fish, and was that kind of a strategy of yours, knowing how fast he is?
I did not know how fast he was. I saw he was on the top of the board for practice, and I found myself behind him because I don't know what happened in turn one. Well, turn one, lap one, I thought he was putting it into the tires because with how far he overdrove it, but he collected it well, and yeah, we found ourselves on the back bumper there and just did our best to keep pace with him, and apparently all he had to do was out mistake me, and then one mistake turned into many, just trying to catch that little bit of gap back up, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger. So congrats to him. Can't complain about second. Just was a little frustrating trying to run him down and just getting nothing out of it. We just kept losing more and more time. So, like I said, happy with second and glad we were able to stay out of trouble today.
No, I have to agree. That was a heck of a run that you put on today. And Fish is so fast. I mean, the fact that you finished second to Fish, I mean, that just shows how fast you were tonight. So hats off to you. Great run. You have anybody you want to thank?
Shout out to Pandid Paints for the awesome paint. Shout out to you guys for broadcasting this. Hopefully the fans out there enjoyed it. I'm sure there was more interesting battles out there than what was out my windshield, because after he got after I couldn't see him no longer, there wasn't much for going on in my race. So hopefully everyone else had some more fun out there today.
I appreciate it, Andrew, from Scott up here in the booth. Congrats on another solid podium finish. Like I said, I know it's frustrating to finish behind Fish, but I can count the amount of races that I've watched them get smaller and smaller and smaller out my windshield here. So awesome job. It's certainly something to finish in front of this entire field, right behind Fish, and we'll hopefully see you next week.
Appreciate it.
See you, buddy.
User was moved out of your channel.
Let's go down here to
That's Greg Wellen.
Greg Wellen. Let's bring him up in the
User
booth here.
was moved to your channel.
Greg Wellen, it's Scott Patton up here in the booth, along with Ken Huber and Kim Quick. Congrats on a P3 finish. I'm showing on my board by far the biggest mover of the race, up 11 spots from starting 14th up to 3rd. I think your pit strategy had a lot to do with that, so congrats on that. And did you have that in mind going into it? Did you think you're going to move up that many spots?
I knew I had pretty good speed, especially compared to the guys I was racing around right about the time I pitted, but it's really hard to pass without dive bombing there. So I just pitted a lap or two early to get out in front of them, and then I knew I had the speed to stay out in front, which paid off.
Yeah, great job out there. We were looking at the gap when you came out of the pits. You got Vernon by about 3.1, 3.2 seconds coming out of pit road, and then you increased that consistently throughout the second half of the race, where we got to 9 seconds in front of Vernon, so he was pretty much no factor for you for a podium threat. So awesome job showing we're one of the fastest trucks tonight all around, and great strategy, I think, from moving to the back of the field, the pit strategy. I love that, to gap a couple more people, and solid podium finish. Anybody you want to thank for your podium finish tonight?
Yeah, it definitely was a solid strategy, and it made it more fun having to start from the back, so that part was cool. But the Inland Empire Redbirds, I know they're watching the broadcast. This is for a couple of boys on the team. And then Zoe's Place in Hancock County, Child Advocacy Center. I want to give them a shout out. And also, a big reason for my podium finish tonight was yourself and Ken not racing. Without you two on the road course, I finished about 2 spots better than I should have.
I appreciate that. Awesome job, Greg. It's great time watching you up there in the P3, and it was great to see some fresh faces up there. Awesome job. Hope to see you next week.
10-4. Thank you, guys.
See you, buddy.
User was moved to your channel. User disconnected from your channel.
And up here we've got Chris Davis, P5. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. It'd be better if I was P3, but
Yeah, put on a heck of a battle there. We probably watched Greg Wellen walk away from you guys, but you probably got the most TV time tonight for what that's worth. You and Vernon put up a heck of a battle there for 4th and 5th throughout the entire night. Seemed like you guys were not more than a truck length or two behind each other. Seems like you showed a lot of patience in trying to catch him and pass him. But what do you think from your standpoint? You and Vernon were pretty evenly matched there throughout the entire race.
yeah, I think I was probably about a second or so faster than him, but I couldn't pass him for the life of me, and I'm not really all about the hitting people to pass them. So I want to be raced how I race people.
Right, and I think that was pretty clear with how Vernon was racing you, and other trucks for that matter racing you. I think a clean race all night. So congrats on a P5 finish, solid finish, and anybody you'd like to thank for the finish tonight?
No, I don't think so. Thanks for Vern not wrecking me. I appreciate it.
That's always a good one. Always good to put some favors in your pocket for next week if you need them. But awesome job, appreciate it. And from Ken and Kim and everybody up here in the booth, congrats on a great finish tonight. We'll hopefully catch you next week.
Yeah, thank you for the broadcast.
You bet. See you, buddy.
See ya.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, gentlemen. We're going to call it quits for the evening. We'll be back next Monday night.